Welcome my fellow Serolians. Today I'm going to be trying out one of these popular brands in the UK, Island Delight. They're known for making Jamaican patties. You can find them in Tesco's, you can find them in all sorts of supermarkets in the UK. So I was browsing through ASDA and I stumbled across this mutton curry with rice, and I thought, okay, this is probably garbage, but let's actually give it a go. It says it's Island Delight authentic Jamaican recipe. Let's see how authentic it is. I mean, I'm not an expert when it comes to authenticness, when it comes to Caribbean food, but you know, I've had my fair deal of Caribbean food to, I think, give a decent review on whether it's, you know, it actually hits that bar of authenticness. Just looking at it, it's pretty basic, long grain rice and curry mutton in the sauce. What does it say at the back? Island Delight brings the authentic taste of Jamaica to your table using classic recipes, flavors and ingredients, creating delicious Caribbean dishes for you to enjoy. The taste of Jamaica, tender pieces of mutton, marinated in traditional herbs and spices, covered in a light spicy sauce, served with long grain rice. Well, I'm hoping that this actually has a bit of a kick. That would actually be quite nice. What I find really strange is they only give one of the options is to shove in the oven. I don't understand why you would shove that in the oven. I mean, you can imagine what would happen to rice if you put it in the oven. It would get all crunchy and crispy. Not the desired effect that I want. And I think also this might just dry it out. This might dry out, the sauce might dry out. I think what I'm going to do actually, because the other option is to bang it in the microwave, but I don't think that it will do it justice. I'll bang the rice in the microwave, but I think I'm gonna cook this in a hob. Add a little bit of water just to get it a bit saucy. And yeah, we'll see how it comes out. So stay tuned.
15 minutes later.
Now we are back, and as I said, I bunged the rice in the microwave, warmed it for about 2 minutes. Now, even straight from the package, I could tell it has absorbed a lot of water. Now, this is long grain rice. Long grain rice should not really look like this. Doesn't look that great. So I'm not really looking forward to that. Also, the portion size is a bit ridiculous. It's really small. You could feed this to a toddler. It's really small, but whatever. Here, the curry mutton, instead of putting it in the oven where it would have dried out, or even putting it in the microwave where I don't think it would have done it justice, I cooked it in a hob and I slow cooked it for about 15-20 minutes. I added a little bit of water, waited for it to sizzle, added a bit more. When I tried the sauce, it was lacking any kind of kick. So I did actually add some cayenne pepper. I didn't want to go crazy and add anything like, you know, Scotch bonnet seeds or anything like that. So I just added some cayenne pepper just to give it a little bit more of a kick. I haven't added anything else, so literally just water and a bit of cayenne pepper. I really want to just let the spices and the seasoning that's contained in the sauce to really come through and give it a proper verdict. I don't want to be interfering with it too much. I did like the slow cook so that I could give the mutton some time to get tender, because I wasn't too sure whether, you know, they had put it in a state where it wasn't, you know, cooked to an optimal texture, and maybe they just left it in there so that it's in transit and then you can just cook it the way it needs to be cooked. So without further ado, I'm just gonna try the sauce first, actually. Just the sauce. Yep, that cayenne pepper is giving it that kick. It's not overbearing. The curry is very prominent. To be honest, for curry mutton, it tastes pretty much like curry mutton that you would get from a takeaway or, you know, from your aunties, your friends' place. No, the sauce is really good. I'd actually give the sauce four and a half. It's actually surprised me now whether it would have tasted as good as this without the kick. I mean, I did try a little bit, but I didn't really take it in. I just tried it a bit and thought, oh, this has no level of spice. Let me add a little bit of cayenne pepper, give it that kick. But yeah, it's pretty good. Now I'm gonna try one of the curry muttons on its own as well. Most of the flavor is actually coming from the sauce, if I'm honest. The mutton is not bad, but it seems to me like they didn't really season the mutton itself. Most of that flavor is coming from the sauce, the curry sauce. Also, it could be a bit more tender, and obviously there's a lack of any fat in there, so it doesn't have that nice buttery texture that you get when you have a little bit of marbling in your meat, and you know, you slow cook it, and it has that nice buttery taste, which which is reminiscent of when you go to a proper Caribbean takeout. So for the meat, I'm just gonna give it an average score of 3, but it's not bad. It's just I'm nitpicking and being really harsh here. Let's add some of this to the rice, because I mean, that's how you're supposed to enjoy it. Yeah, where this, excuse me, where this meal falls apart is with the rice. The rice, your typical Uncle Ben's or, them microwaved rice. There's a massive difference between that and when you cook rice, fresh. When you buy that rice, you wash it, you cook it, and it's just that perfect texture. This rice is lacking that. It tastes kind of almost stale, and yeah, it's mushy. It's got a funny, some weird taste that I'm not very familiar with when it comes to rice. I mean, I grew up on rice. I've been eating rice my whole life. This isn't great. They will do themselves a lot more service pairing this dish. Oh, nearly dropped it. Pairing this dish with a much better quality rice. Or in fact, just do the sauce and let people cook the rice themselves. Because this rice is really bad. It really is. I'd give it a 1. It's okay, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. Am I being a bit too harsh? No, it's a 1. It's really bad rice. So sauce, 4.5. The meat, 3. And the rice, 1. So overall, combined, I'm gonna give it an above average score, 3.5. The rice really lets it down. I mean, the rice really makes up most of the meal. It does, it really does. So would I recommend this? I'd recommend the sauce. I wouldn't recommend the rice. But of course, if you're gonna buy this, you have to get it as a package. So ultimately, no, I would not recommend this dish. So 3.5 is a bit misleading. No, I'll give this a 2.5 out of 5. Didn't touch on the price actually. So I got it from ASDA for £3.59, but in Morrison's and Sainsbury's, strangely enough, it's actually £3.50. So it's not always the case that at ASDA you're getting it at the lowest price. So I got bumped 9p, but hey, would I say it's worth? Well, if you're dishing out this kind of garbage, it's not even worth 99p. But if they had given you some decent rice, £3.50 isn't too bad actually. It isn't too bad, because you know, obviously you go to a takeout, obviously you're gonna get a bigger portion and whatnot, and it's gonna cost about maybe £7-8. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a thumbs down. I'm gonna give it a miss. But that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, all of that good stuff. Till next time, peace.